What's up, folks? I'm Cody Campbell with High Ground Gaming. Today we are unboxing and reviewing the HyperX Cloud Alpha wireless gaming headset. I'm gonna start by walking you through the specs, then we'll open it up, let you take a look at it. After that, we'll go to the review portion where I'll give you my thoughts on it, and then we'll go to High Ground Gaming's final score. Stick around. I'm actually pretty excited about this one. I actually have a pair of the original HyperX Cloud Alphas. This was my headset for years, my go-to headset, until I decided to switch to wireless. Now, there's a wireless version of that headset, which I find very exciting. It is a 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection, which is good. That's a very low latency connection. It's rated to be compatible with the PC, PS4, and PS5. I don't have an Xbox to test whether or not it would work with that, but we are gonna find out whether or not it works with the Switch as well. It has DTS Headphone X, which is a spatial audio feature, so you should be able to hear spatially where sounds are coming from, which is a big deal in competitive shooters and other games where you need to know where your enemies are located around you. It has 50mm dual chamber drivers. It has a detachable microphone. It's going to be able to use the new version of the NGENUITY Software, the HyperX software, so we're gonna check out what features that has. But the big thing that this headset brings to the table is that it promises 300 hours of battery life. Now there's some caveats to that. It says 300 hours of battery life if the volume is set to medium and if you're listening to certain things, so your mileage may vary a little bit, but most of the headsets we review have between 15 and 50 hours of battery life. So this one promising 300 is pretty impressive. Even if it only hits half that, it's still pretty impressive. So I don't think we're even going to be really able to test out exactly how long this lasts because we only review these products for 2 weeks and we'd have to leave it running pretty much the whole time to drain that battery. Basically, I'm just gonna charge it all the way to full at the beginning, and at the end of 2 weeks, we'll see whether or not we've even made a dent in it. All right, that's about it for the specs though. Let's go ahead and open it up. All right, got some paperwork here, advertisement, got the quick start guide. All right, let's open her up. Let's see what's in here. All right, so here's the USB dongle. It's pretty small, it's nice. Here's the headset. Interesting, it has, looks like it comes with a little pop filter, but the pop filter isn't attached already. It's nice quality pop filter too, feels good. All right, let's see. Below the headset, we've got a charging cable, USB type A to USB type C, so that'll be real fast. Very short, so you're gonna have to keep it right by your electronic port unless you wanna buy a longer one. Let's see the headset itself. So it looks like on the right-hand side is just the volume dial, which is kind of nice. I like that they kept it isolated from everything else. It's got these real deep grooves and ridges in it, so you'll be able to feel it real easy. I wish there was a teensy bit more tension in it, but it isn't super loose either. On the left-hand side, we've got a power button, we've got a mute button, we've got the charging port, and then this should be the plug-in for the microphone. Yep, there we go. And that plugs in real nice, secure. Let's try them on. Microphone adjusts real easily. These are very comfortable. Should be memory foam inside the ear cups, I believe. It looks like it has leatherette, which I like. I prefer leatherette, honestly, to the more breathable materials. I find them very scratchy, so. Looks like we've got some more padding on the top here. More memory foam covered in leatherette. And then the top, we've got the HyperX logo with some leather on top there. The design overall has not changed a lot. You can see side by side, these are very similar. We've got the adjustable sides here. We've got the cables coming up the sides. Ear cups is pretty much identical in every way. And honestly, I was expecting the wireless ones to be heavier because of the battery, 300-hour battery, but they're pretty much the same. I can't feel a difference just by holding them. It's really impressive how they've managed to keep these so light. Let's turn them on. So when you turn it on, it says power on, battery level is 90%, so it kind of lets you know where it's at. The fact that it tells you the remaining battery percentage is really cool because with these lasting 300 hours, that's probably for most gamers a month or two without charging them. So when you boot it up and it says there's only 10% left, you probably know that you've got, honestly, probably a couple gaming sessions left, but you'll know it's time to charge them pretty soon. And that way it won't catch you by surprise. They won't die mid-game after you've been using them for a couple months without charging. Overall, the build quality is pretty impressive, but we still have to test the audio quality. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in, play some games, and we'll be right back with a review. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks. I've had some time to play around with the HyperX Cloud Alpha wireless, and I'm ready to talk about it. But before we get into that, please like and subscribe. All right, before we get into the review of this, I just want to let you know that I did test it out with a Nintendo Switch, and that is a no-go, unfortunately. It did work for a little bit. Like, I plugged in the USB port and I got audio through the headset and I played for 10, 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden the audio just cut out and then it wouldn't connect again. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but definitely can't recommend these for a Switch user, unfortunately. It kind of makes sense. They're not rated for the Switch. They're PS4, PS5, and PC, so they probably would have said that it worked with the Switch if it actually did. I just wanted to try it out so I could let you guys know. All right, let's dive into the build quality. I've talked about a lot of this before when I was doing the unboxing, but they are very light and comfortable. The adjustability makes them work with a variety of head sizes and shapes, and they're pretty comfortable. They also sit on your head pretty well. They're not gonna like fly off or anything like that. The memory foam offers some good cushioning, and the leatherette is really soft and comfortable on the skin. The only kind of negative thing that I would note is that it does not have a 3.5 millimeter audio port. A lot of wireless headsets come with the option to use a 3.5 millimeter wired connection if you'd like to. That way it can work with other devices like a Nintendo Switch or like a mobile device or something like that. This only works with the USB dongle for the 2.4G connection. So that is the only way that these will work, and those are the only 3 devices that they will work with. But let's talk about that wireless connectivity, because it's pretty good. First of all, it's completely plug and play. You just plug the USB dongle into whatever device you want to use, you turn on the headset, and you've got audio. I didn't have any issues whatsoever with latency or audio drops the entire time I was using it. Sound seemed pretty much instantaneous, and I was getting a strong signal the whole time. The press kit that they sent us reports that it has a 20-meter range, which is around 66 feet. For us, it didn't go quite that far. I tested it, and it started cutting out for me right around 35 feet. There's some walls and stuff around here, some little angles where maybe the signal couldn't get super strong. Maybe it's 66 feet in an open field or something like that. But 35 feet is still pretty good range. You could walk around, leave the room, come back, and you'd still be able to hear everything while you're gone. Now let's talk about the audio quality, because that's really important, especially in a wireless headset, because a lot of times when you get a wireless headset, you get really weak audio because the power is being drawn from the battery. These are pretty good. The highs and midtones are really, really strong. The low tones and the bass are not the strongest, but they're pretty good. You can have a nice cinematic experience when you're playing a game or watching a movie. And also you can improve it if you're using it with PC via the software. So that's pretty good as well. I gamed with it playing some Valorant, some Elden Ring, and some Doom Eternal, and I had a really great time with all of those things, especially on PC, again, because the software allows you to activate the spatial audio so that you can tell what direction your enemies are coming from. That was really important to Valorant, but it's also valuable in pretty much any gaming experience. When I was playing Elden Ring, it was nice to be able to hear when enemies were coming up behind me and stuff like that and know what direction they were coming from. The stereo audio on these for the PS4 and PS5 is pretty good, solid. It's as good as anything you're really going to get for those particular mediums, but on PC in particular, the DTS-X audio really does improve your sense of directionality, which is pretty valuable in game. The microphone quality is pretty good as well. The actual build is nice. It holds its position really well. You can really fine tune where you want it and everything like that. So a little tinny, a little echoey, and they definitely have the limiter set a little too high, I feel, but you're not going to get any white noise, and for my money, I think your voice sounds pretty good for a headset mic. But on top of all the features that come with the headset, the PC users are also going to get to take advantage of the NGENUITY Software. This comes with 4 major features. First of all, you can adjust the audio volume and the microphone input volume. You can turn DTS:X spatial sound on and off. And then there's an equalizer. Now, you can adjust the equalizer manually, or there are 7 different presets. 3 of the big ones were a bass boost preset, which is what I used most of the time, clarity, and then there's an FPS setting to specifically single out the sounds of things like footsteps. I've definitely seen headset software that offers more functionality than this, but it did seem really stable, and the things that it does have are pretty much the most important, so that was pretty good as well. But now that we've talked about all the features, it's time to get down to the verdict. So the HyperX Cloud Alpha Wireless MSRP's at $199.99. That is a pretty hefty price tag. There are a few other headsets that are around that price point that are really competitive. First of all, there's the Logitech G Pro X wireless, there's the Razer Blackshark V2 Pro wireless, and then there's the SteelSeries Arctis 7 Plus wireless. Those are all right around that price point or even a little bit cheaper, and they all have most of the same features that this has and some really good reputations for quality. Then there's probably its biggest competitor, which is the HyperX Cloud 2 wireless, their own product. Now that's a full $70 cheaper than this. You can get it for $130 on Amazon. And it's got a pretty good audio quality, a pretty good microphone. It's also got 2.4G wireless connectivity, and it's got surround sound for spatial audio. The one thing that this has that really sets it apart from all of that competition is the 300-hour battery life. And I have to say, it is impressive. I've been using this pretty regularly for multi-hour long gaming sessions over the last 2 weeks, and it's still got a solid 90% left on the battery. I've gone through 10% of this battery in 2 weeks of regular use. That means that you're hardly ever going to have to charge this headset. And to be honest, my biggest concern was if you have to charge it so infrequently, you're never going to remember to charge it and it's going to die in the middle of the game. But the fact that it tells you what the battery is at when you turn it on makes it so that they've kind of solved that problem before it even came up. You're going to know that when you get down to 5%, even 2% battery, you've got a full gaming session ahead of you, and then you can charge it at the end. That battery also goes a long way towards justifying the price, because even though it's just one feature, batteries are expensive. Ultimately, it's really up to you as a consumer to decide whether it's worth spending $200 for what is essentially an upper mid-range headset with a battery life that is just insane. So we decided to give it a 4.3 out of 5. It sucks that it doesn't work with the Switch. It has a couple of other minor shortcomings, but overall, it's a solid headset. It's comfortable, and that battery life is just incredible. So we think anybody who just doesn't want to be charging their headset all the time and wants to have an easy wireless experience and has $200 to spend, this is a solid option. But why don't you go ahead and drop down into the comments and let us know what you think. Is battery life that important? Is it worth the extra $70 over something like the Cloud 2 wireless? Or is that just too expensive for a gaming headset? While you're at it, please hit the like and subscribe button. We've got lots more content coming at you real soon, and we'd hate for you to miss any of it. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. Happy gaming.